extra strength dash that makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
Hello?
So, honey, listen, I just sneaked away from a customer. I had to call you. It's very important.
Was anything wrong?
Well, something's come up. It's about Sam. No, it's about Joe, really. Well, it affects both Sam and Joe. It's about Arthur.
All right, darling. Now, I'm completely confused. Start all over again slowly.
Now, honey, there isn't time. Here's what I want you to do. Call Joe and tell her we want her over for dinner tonight, and we won't take no for an answer.
Honey, I can't just simply call her up and tell
Honey,
her
you
to come.
can. Now, just tell her I have something important to tell her. It could make a lot of difference about everything.
Well, can't you at least tell me so that I'll know what to say?
Marge, there isn't time. Just do what I said, huh? I'll be home by 6:30, and I want Joe to be there. Bye.
Goodbye. My hero.
Now, cut it out, Emily. You're the heroine. I'd bow to you if I weren't so stiff.
Well, anyway, we did it. We showed him to the tune of 6-3-6-1.
That tournament has just started. We have a long way to go. But if our opponents are foolish enough to keep playing you instead of me, and on the theory that being a member of the weaker sex, you can't belt a tennis ball, we will be the next public court champions of Henderson.
Let's chuck all this, Nick. Turn pro. Big time, big money. Let's drink champagne out of tennis shoes.
You could do better alone, Emily. I'm just in your way on the tennis court.
Oh, sure. Nothing doing. The pair that plays together stays together. And I like us just the way we are. I wouldn't change a minute of it, would you, Nick?
Well, I signed up for the duration. Of the tournament, at least.
No longer than that?
Well, look at the champs. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
First match, anyway.
Thank you.
Oh, and thanks, Nick. Patti and I are real grateful.
Well, for what?
Well, Roger said you postponed your vacation so Patti and I can have a honeymoon month in Paris.
No problem, Len. My time's not worth much these days.
Thank you, Nick Hunter.
Well, except on a tennis court, naturally. Have you finally set the date?
Mm-hmm. July 8th. So mark it down in your calendars. Circle it in red.
Mind if I use blue? Anyway, it all sounds great. Paris with Patti Tate.
Well, Patti writing by then.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm due back on the 5th. So I'll see you later. And thanks again, Nick.
Sure.
You going to be the best man?
Second best.
Not on a tennis court, partner.
Oh, boy. You know what this stuff does? Right. Today's dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
I know what they mean by 10 feet tall cleaning. Look, I've been using Dash for 6 weeks, and these shirt collars never looked this clean.
Dash does get those shirt collars cleaner than any other low-setter. They've put so much extra strength in it.
I believe it. Look how this apron came out. It was the greasiest thing.
Sure, there isn't any detergent that beats Dash for getting out grease like that.
What?
No detergent. High Suds or low beats new Dash when it comes to getting out grease.
Doesn't surprise me. Dash really does the job.
And the people who make this machine recommend Dash's Safe Suds. Every manufacturer does. So why don't you find out why we say today's Safe Sudsing Dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
Yes, come in.
Say it, Sam.
Say what?
Something wicked this way comes.
Well, that's from Macbeth, isn't it? One of the witches.
Just a joke, darling. Conversation opener. May I sit down? How are you?
What's it all about, Andrea?
Oh, well, I happen to be in Joanne Tate's office. We were going over some wedding plans.
No, I don't mean what
And
you're doing here. I mean the rumors.
Rumors?
That you bought a shop downtown, that you plan to live in Henderson.
Not a shop. A boutique, darling. Otherwise correct.
There must be a name for you that hasn't been created yet.
The name is Mother, Sam.
No. So much more. Yet at the same time, so much less. You've done some terrible things in your life running under that name, Mother, but this is a new low.
You're verging on hysteria. Or is it only dyspepsia?
Fright, Andrea. I'm afraid for Len and for Patti. I'm afraid for that poor, pitiful, struggling little marriage, if you ever let it happen.
Then let Mother reassure you, Sam. That marriage will happen. I've spent time and energy and a great deal of hard-earned money to see that it does happen.
So you can live in their laps and tear it slowly to pieces, and then rescue your son from his ghastly failure. Then you'll have him back on the leash for the rest of his life, permanently frozen, permanently terrified of a relationship with any woman except his mother. Is that the plan?
I have no intention of interfering in the lives of those children. I've come to like Patti, even respect her. And the wedding will come off on schedule. July 8th. Naturally, you'll receive an invitation, and I'd be very proud if you'd attend. Perhaps together we can even shed a few decent, honest tears of happiness at our son's good fortune. I know I shall. And I hope you'll be by my side.
I doubt that very much.
Well, at least don't forget to send a wedding present.
What are you going to send, Andrea? I mean, besides yourself.
A month in my apartment in Paris. Good enough, sir?
I can think of a much better gift.
You could join me in the best gift of all. Us, Sam. Together again, as husband and wife. It could work now, darling. I've changed. I'm different. I'm chastened by the years of our separation. More honest, more truthful.
How you wonder? Can you finally tell the truth?
I don't know what you mean.
The gift you could give Len is the truth. Tell Len the truth. Tell him why I had to leave two little boys alone that night in that house, the night of the fire. Tell him where I was and why I was there. Tell him.
Want me to destroy our son?
No. Let him live. For the first time in his life.
When prize-winning cook Mrs. Forrest Smith of Coolidge, Kansas prepares fried chicken, she always uses Crisco. Why Crisco?
Foods never taste greasy when you fry right with Crisco.
Crisco's different from other shortenings and heavy-tasting oils. It's all vegetable shortening with special protection against greasy taste. Mrs. Smith always uses Crisco for digestible fried foods that don't taste greasy. Best cooks use Crisco. You should, too.
Wouldn't use anything else.
Come on, Jimmy. Let's go.
Hold it before you blast off. You brush your teeth. There's the gleam.
Your mother's always making you do that. Yeah, but I bet I get less cavities than you.
Yes, mothers who care know one sure way to help fight decay is to brush right and use Gleam. You see, a harmful deposit called plaque forms on teeth. Proper brushing with Gleam removes most plaque. So remember, one sure way to help fight decay is to brush right and use Gleam.
Of course I remember Bill and Kitty Allen. They had that cute house over on Orchard.
Yeah, that's right, too.
They still own it, and they're planning on coming back from St. Louis. Stu talked to Bill this afternoon, and he might just work for West Side Auto again.
Hey, that's wonderful. Oh, and those kids, I remember them. Patti used to sit with them when they were about, I guess Corky must have been 2. She used to come home exhausted.
Well, the girl is now 13, and Corky is 7.
Oh, Lord, tell me, where do the years go?
I don't know.
Joe?
You've been mighty quiet this evening.
Why, I've just been wondering how to say it. I guess the only way to say it is to say it. Well, on my way back to Henderson yesterday, I passed by Arthur's old drilling site, and later on in the afternoon, I had lunch with Sam Reynolds, and, I said something about how we'd never know whether Arthur ever would have found oil. And Sam said they do know.
What does that mean?
Well, about about 3 weeks after Sam made Arthur stop drilling and he sold the leases, Ajax Oil set up another rig and they drilled another 500 feet.
Stu, does that mean Arthur was right? They did find oil?
No, honey. Salt water. Just salt water, Joe. And they capped the well, tore down the rig, and hauled it off. And that's that.
Why did Sam use you to tell me? Why didn't he tell me himself?
Well, I asked him the same thing, Joe. He said that you loved Arthur and had faith in him, and he'd already taken enough away from you. He didn't want to take that away, too.
I'm sorry, darling. I still don't understand what all this means.
It means that Arthur was wrong. All the weeks and months of work and worry and dreaming were for nothing. Isn't that what it means?
No, it means a little more than that, Joe.
What?
Well, suppose Sam hadn't sold those leases. And suppose Arthur did go on drilling. And he was standing on the rig when the gusher came in. And suppose he saw that it was just salt water.
I don't see how he could have gotten through that.
No, that's true. He couldn't have. He wouldn't have. All he was going on those last weeks was hope. See all his hopes drown in salt water? He couldn't have stood that. Well, now you've told me, Stu. Arthur was wrong, Sam was right. And that there is a special penalty for fighting Sam Reynolds. Arthur certainly paid it. Because Arthur's dead. But right or wrong, I still love him. I still miss him. Congratulate Sam Reynolds with you for being right and being alive.
They say if you wash with Camay, you get Camay skin. Well, I think I've got it. It's the things that have been happening to me lately, like this.
They're playing Our Face.
He meant song. And this happened yesterday.
Dan, can you translate the word for us?
Lovely.
The word was broccoli. I don't know. I just started washing with Camay every day. Camay does have cold cream in it. Sure feels creamy. My skin does feel a lot softer. I kind of expected that, but all these other things...
Hey, sis, you look good.
See? I really think I've got it.
Camay Skin. You get it by using Camay.
I wonder what would happen if I used the back side.
Search for Tomorrow is brought to you by Camay, the cold cream beauty soap for soft, moist skin. Camay Skin. Now, a better way to make brownies with Duncan Hines Brownie Mix. Inside, there's something extra. This exclusive new chocolate flavor packet. So rich in chocolatey goodness, you get brownies that taste extra chocolatey, extra fudgy. Yes, every bite tastes extra chocolatey. And remember, only Duncan Hines has this new chocolate flavor packet in Duncan Hines Double Fudge Brownie Mix. Search for Tomorrow. Brought to you by new Extra Strength Dash that makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
You're an extremely good loser tonight, Sam.
I'm always a good loser.
Not like tonight. You're a pushover. Check and mate.
Well, could it be that tonight is one of your excessively brilliant nights?
Oh, I doubt it. Your mind's not on it. You're 1,000 miles away.
Only 100.
Which way?
West. To Arthur's oil well.
How'd you think you'd like to forget that particular piece of history?
Stu Bergman got curious, and I had to tell him about it. I imagine it'll be in the paper one of these days.
What about it? After you shut Arthur down and sold off the leases, that was the end of it, wasn't it?
No, the new company went back to the hole and drilled another 500 feet.
Sam, did they strike oil? Was Arthur right after all?
They hit an ocean of salt water, and they capped the well and abandoned it. Finally, that's the end of it.
How long have you known about this?
A little over a month.
Well, I didn't see any mention of it in the last stockholders report.
Of course not.
What do you mean, of course not? It's kind of a success story, isn't it? Your judgment paid off. You made Arthur stop drilling before he condemned those leases. He fought you bitterly, but your decision to sell was correct.
Even when it resulted in Arthur's death.
That's hindsight, Sam.
Oh, sure, I had a job to do. Joanne's husband was in the way, so I squashed him. Sam Reynolds, left-handed hero. Good old-fashioned success story, sure.
Suppose you had let Arthur keep on drilling till he hit salt water. Is that your idea of a success story?
At least he'd be alive today.
That's pure speculation, Sam. A lot of non-medical experts in this town, including you, keep trying to outguess a heart attack. Arthur died, but not as a failure. He died thinking about a vacation he was going to take with Joe. He stopped by the hospital to see you, remember? He'd accepted your decision. He was smiling, cheerful. He shook hands with you. 2 hours later, he died, instantly. I don't know about you, but when my time comes, I'll settle for that.
You're not his wife.
Does Joe know that the well was a failure?
Yes.
When did you tell her?
I didn't. Stu told her last night.
What was her reaction?
About what I expected. She sent her congratulations. For being right. For being alive. But for nothing else.
We're going to play chess, aren't we?
Uh-oh. Guess what's going to happen now? Right. Today's dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
You know, I wasn't sure I knew what that 10 feet tall business meant till I saw how these T-shirts came out. The next, they're clean.
That's what we've been saying. Dash gets them cleaner than any other low sudger. They've added so much extra strength to it.
Take a look at this tablecloth. There was a big grease spot right here.
Sure, there isn't any detergent that beats Dash for getting out grease.
Any detergent?
Yes, ma'am, no detergent. High suds or low beats new Dash for getting out grease.
I'm sure sold, and I've been doing laundry for some 15 years.
You know, the company that makes this machine recommends Dash's Safe Suds. They all do. So why don't you find out why we say, today's Safe Sudsing Dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
Yes, Mr. Chandler. And with your help and cooperation and your long experience as a contractor, I'll open my shop in a week or 10 days. Won't I, Mr. Chandler? Good for you. Mahogany and glass shelves, right. And thanks for calling. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, darling. Oh, but if I don't keep the pressure on sweet Mr. Chandler...
Oh, don't apologize, Andrea. It sounds fascinating. And I agree about glass shelves. Mahogany sounds wonderful.
No, Patti, you're just being polite.
No, she isn't. It's a new experience, seeing you in action.
Career woman, you mean, huh?
Oh, all those decisions, knowing what you want and how to get it. You're what's known as a real swinger, Andrea.
I don't know whether that's a compliment or not. Oh, but I do at the moment feel like a trapeze artist. With lists of things to do in each hand.
And it's pretty obvious that you love it.
Oh, the problems. The challenge of a new enterprise, yes. But sometimes I think I've lost my mind.
Well, why do you say a thing like that? You've got the time and energy and talent for a thing like that. And apparently the money. So what are you worrying about?
Oh, I wasn't thinking about the success of my boutique. That sort of thing I can handle blindfolded. I was thinking of another kind of success. Andrea the person. Sells a big business and then turns right around and starts a small one. Switches from Paris to Henderson. A cynical little something inside of me keeps asking, why, Andrea? What are you doing?
Well, give your small friend a message. Tell him to mind his own business.
Well, that's the thing, you see. Am I minding mine? I mean, do I have the the right to push down my roots here in Henderson without your permission?
Permission for what?
Well, I feel like I'm, I don't know, invading your territory. This is your home, your living space. You should be able to enjoy it alone, without a doting mother, Len, and Patti, a doting mother-in-law.
Well, Mom feels the same way about us. Why can't you feel that way?
But this is her home, darling. I'm an outsider in a sense. I planned to be here temporarily, and suddenly I'm opening a shop. I feel so guilty.
Don't use a word like that. Guilty for what, for Pete's sake? You are what you are, and you feel the way you feel. So what do you want, an official welcome from the Chamber of Commerce? Isn't our welcome enough?
Well, I'm not sure you can give it.
I just did.
I just mean, Len, all you can give me is your welcome. And that's not fair to Patti.
Why not?
Well, she has a right to speak for herself.
You feel you need my welcome, is that what you mean?
Can you bear having me around, Patti? Underfoot?
Oh, Andre, that's a silly question. In fact, I don't think it deserves an answer.
I had a girl, Patti. That's telling her.
Well, if I couldn't bowl any better than that, I'd get to another business.
Sure. Open up a boutique.
A what?
A boutique.
Oh. What's a boutique?
Well, it's kind of a French gift shop.
Oh.
Sort of.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it's Andrea Whiting's new project. High-class merchandise for the natives of Henderson.
I thought she sold her business, gave up being a career woman.
Oh, I know it's what Joe told me.
Well, that doesn't make sense, honey. Give up like a $125,000 a year business in Paris and open up a shop in Henderson? I thought you were smarter than that.
I guess she wants to be near Len and Patti after they're married and have a place of their own.
I wonder how they'll feel about that.
Well, Joe says that Patti doesn't sound worried. If I were Patti, I'd sound worried. Joe sounded worried.
No, I don't blame her, honey. I wonder how Sam feels about his wife becoming a permanent resident.
There's not very much you can do about it, I guess.
Poor Sam. Stymied everywhere he looks. Not just Andrea, but now Joe, too. Even more so now that she's sent him that message.
Stu, you didn't tell him what you said. Oh. You know, it's such a waste.
What is it?
Two nice people. Sam guilty and Joe resentful. I wish there was some sort of King Solomon around who could solve the whole thing somehow.
Would you like King Bergman to give it another try? Ask them both to dinner again?
Oh, darling, you can if you want to, but I'm almost sure Joe will say no.
Yeah, I suppose so. But at least she'll have to face me with the invitation, honey. She's going to have to turn me down. She can't just go on ignoring the problem, hoping it'll go away, you know. Joe, hi, honey. You're a lucky girl.
Lucky how, dear?
Oh, I just picked up a couple of tickets in the black market.
Tickets? To what?
Oh, a floor show and a dinner at the Bergmans.
Sunday night at 7.
Marge says Sunday night at 7. Oh, Joe. Honey, bring your little white flag.
Well, I'd love to come to dinner, but why the flag?
A truce, Joe. A ceasefire.
All that I give up, I'm lost.
Well, Sam Reynolds will have the other tickets.
Is this his idea of a victory celebration?
No, I haven't even spoken to Sam, Joe. I wanted to ask you first, give you a chance to be reasonable and fair. Not necessarily to Sam, but to yourself, Joe, and maybe even to Arthur. I gave Sam your message. I wish now I hadn't. I keep hoping maybe there'll be another message, Joe, that'll help you and Sam. Just a tiny little white flag, Joe. Or even a smile, or just a hello. The kind that says new start. Is that too much to ask for just one little ticket?
Do you have lots of friends? I'm sure you can get rid of the ticket. I'm afraid I just can't afford it. Some other time, dear, with some other guest. Thanks and good night.
Make way for this new brigade of kitchen helpers. 7 of the handiest, dandiest utensils ever made by Echo. All heavy-duty steel with dishwasher-proof handles. And you get this entire set free right in your store when you buy these special packages of Joy, Ivory Snow, and Oxidol. There's a hard-working utensil for every cooking job. Like, well, to name a few, a spoon for basting, a ladle for tasting, slotted turner for draining, slotted spoon for straining, a turner for flipping, a fork for gripping, this knife for slicing, or even dicing. These wonderful, long-lasting Echo kitchen helpers are waiting in your favorite store right now, all free from Joy, Ivory Snow, and Oxidol. Get yours today.
Search for Tomorrow is brought to you by Pure Mild Ivory Snow, the soap that makes diapers feel soft as sterilized cotton.
Here's a story with a lot of villains. The villains? Most soaps. Maybe the kind you've been using. They never leave you feeling as clean as our hero, Zest. What? Most soaps leave a sticky soap film behind, but with Zest, no sticky soap film on the mirror or on you. You're clean. Zest has lots of lather and a big deodorant, too. You really feel clean with Zest.
Search for Tomorrow. Brought to you by new Oxidol, now with extra whitening power. Oxidol with little green bleaching crystals to give you a bleach white wash.
I'll get it, Patti.
Hi.
Well, if it's not Junior Bergman's babysitter.
But not tonight.
Good. Come on in.
Oh, I just broke out. Can we sit out here on the porch? Oh, come on.
Patti, it's Marge Bergman. Will be out on the porch if you feel like coming down. And what is this? Revolt?
Junior had too much Mommy, and Mommy had too much Junior. So on behalf of both of us, I handed him over to Stu and took a walk. And here I am.
Oh, I'm glad.
Patty washing her hair?
No, just resting.
No, I suppose she's really been on the go lately. But she's young and in love.
And tonight she's discouraged and depressed.
Oh? Too much engagement? I mean, a fly in the ointment?
And I'm it. So are you, apparently.
Uh-oh, how do we get into it?
I'm not really sure. Len brought her home about a half an hour ago. I heard the car door slam in the driveway, and he drove off in a rush. Same old story.
Another quarrel? But I don't see how I fit into all this.
You invited me to dinner at your house, and you also invited Sam Reynolds.
That, according to Len, is high treason.
Oh, I think that's ridiculous. If he can't get along with his father, that's his problem. But who appointed Len Whiting as your social secretary?
Len's always been pretty impatient with Patti for being so sympathetic toward Sam. And now that we're both going to have dinner in the same house on the same evening, he's decided that Patti and I are being very disloyal to Andrea.
Oh, honestly.
And apparently it was a pretty bitter quarrel. Len said some hysterical things, and Patti's right back where she was before. All the old doubts and reservations about Len are out from under the rug.
Not a good time to go through all that.
Not with the wedding 5 weeks away.
If Patti can return to all her old doubts like this, if that relationship can't survive a few conflicts, it isn't very solid ground to build on, is it?
No. And I hate to see her swing back and forth like this. Full of doubts one day and soaring with hope the next.
Oh, honey, maybe they'll get back on the track.
Marge, this is the track. It always has been. Patti's very much in love with a young man who is too close to his mother and much too hostile toward his father. And this is the track, this is the pattern, and this is the problem.
Name the spot. Try the new Oxidol first. Oxidol washes whiter, bleaches whiter. Name the dirt. Try the new Oxidol first. Oxidol washes whiter, bleaches whiter. Name the toughest problem a detergent can handle. Try the new Oxidol first. Oxidol washes whiter, bleaches whiter. Other detergents just wash. Only Oxidol has color-safe green bleaching crystals. Washes and bleaches out even tough ground-in dirt, like no plain detergent can. Name the spot. Name the dirt. Name your toughest laundry problems. Try the new Oxidol first. Oxidol washes whiter, bleaches whiter. Just out. Try it.
Haven't you moved yet?
Don't rush me.
When's the big occasion, Sam? The Bergman dinner party.
Oh, dinner party? It's dinner. Tomorrow night at 7. What are you going to do, send flowers?
I'd like to. No, I really am glad that Joanne has finally decided to be reasonable.
Thank you, Doc, so much.
Who brainstormed the whole deal? Stu Bergman?
Well, he kept after her.
I wonder how he finally managed it.
Well, he claims it was half Bergman term and half Bergman logic. I hope he's right.
About what?
The logic.
Oh, I think he is. You and Joanne can't continue to be enemies with your children getting married.
I never wanted to be enemies. Typecasting, I guess. I always wanted to be her friend. And she's going to need all the friends she can get, Bob.
Yeah, her grief or ordeal can't last forever.
The ordeal I'm thinking about is Andrea.
I'm not so sure. You've been pretty consistently wrong about her so far.
Her actions, maybe, but Len and Patti aren't married yet. What worries me are her intentions.
When you've been so wrong in your suspicion of her up to now, how can you claim to see the future so clearly?
Well, you used the word a moment ago, Bob. Logic.
Your logic?
No, my wife's.
It's been pretty logical. You've accused her of everything under the sun. You've used words like conniving, domineering, ruthless, maneuvering, and they just don't fit. You predicted that she would prevent that wedding, and she's not going to. Now, what kind of logic are you talking about?
You really don't see it?
See what?
The logic. The cold, hard logic. Her intentions, her plan.
No, I certainly do not.
Len is determined to marry Patti, so she can't prevent the wedding. But she can wreck the marriage. Slowly, at her own pace, she can take it apart, piece by piece, day by day.
Oh, come on.
But don't you see how it works? How beautifully logical it is? If she threw a monkey wrench into the wedding now, all she would gain would be Len's resentment. But if she can cut Patti down after they're married, then she's got Len for sure, forever. Why do you say that? Because Len will be wrong, and his mother will be right. He'll leave Patti and go back home in his heart to Mother. Sad, disillusioned, repentant. Andrea will have been right. And then it'll be her little boy then. He'll be her little boy. And then she can have him.
Make way for this new brigade of kitchen helpers. 7 of the handiest, dandiest utensils ever made by Echo. All heavy-duty steel with dishwasher-proof handles. And you get this entire set free right in your store when you buy these special packages of Joy, Ivory Snow, and Oxidol. There's a hard-working utensil for every cooking job, like, well, to name a few, a spoon for basting, a ladle for tasting, slotted turner for draining, slotted spoon for straining, a turner for flipping, oven dicing. These wonderful, long-lasting Echo kitchen helpers are waiting in your favorite store right now, all free from Joy, Ivory Snow, and Oxidol. Get yours today.
So, tomorrow night, Mrs. Tate and Mr. Reynolds are having dinner together at the Bergmans. Presumably to resolve their misunderstanding about my father having caused Arthur Tate's death. I gather you're not surprised.
And you, Len, yes. You sent me the clippings when it happened. Well, I admit that my husband has caused some heartaches in his time, but heart attack? Shame on you, darling. You're a doctor. You...
As a doctor, I know what pressure and strain can do to a man. And Sam did it to Arthur Tate.
You said that Patti was happy that her mother has come to some sort of an understanding with Sam. Well, now, why would she feel that way unless she holds no resentment towards him?
Because he half blinds her the way he half blinds everybody except you and me. You know the way he is. You've seen him operate long enough.
Oh, darling, aren't you ever going to forgive him? Let alone allow Mrs. Tate and Patti to forgive him? Now, why should they hate him because you do?
All right, there's nothing I can do about the way Mrs. Tate feels about him. But Patty's something else. She can at least show some loyalty to you and me. The things we live by.
I think she has a perfect right to her own opinion. Although I must admit it does seem...
What?
Well, only if the man I love felt strongly about something, right or wrong, I wouldn't deliberately taunt him with it.
Well, that's exactly what she did. And she denied she was being disloyal to you because you've always hoped I'd change my mind about Sam.
Oh, that's perfectly true. But I'm your mother, and a hopeless romantic in some ways. I'm not the girl you're going to marry, and that's quite a different cup of tea, you know? Well, I just mean that there are certain standards, certain unspoken obligations to the man you love. But, Len, Patti will learn them slowly, one at a time. So don't be too hard on her.
I'm not looking for any standards, any obligations. All I want is a little understanding, for you as well as for me. I'm entitled to that.
I should think so. But then if Mrs. Tate's been able to persuade herself that Sam is a decent, honorable man, which he is, well, then Patti owes some loyalty to Joanne, too.
I wonder if it was like that. Or whether Patti listened to my father and then persuaded her mother.
That's quite possible. I'm sure that in Joanne's present emotional state, she feels very unsure of herself. She needs someone to tell her what to think. Your little Patti is just the girl to tell her.
I don't think Patti's as positive as all that.
Oh, darling, tut-tut. Love is blind. Oh, you just open your big eyes a teeny squinch. You'd see a lot of steel underneath all that lovely blonde velvet.
Hey. Well, we're not talking about the same kid.
I'm not talking about any kid.
I'm talking about the woman you're going to marry next month. So prepare to meet your homemaker, Dr. Whiting. The girl who will bring your slippers and run your life.
Oh, Grace. You paint a pretty picture.
I paint the picture I see. But while your love for Patti is merely blind, mine for you is deeply prejudiced. So ignore me, forget me, and how does that old song go? And fly to the arms of your darling.
Suppose you ask kids how they want peanut butter to taste.
Like lots more peanuts. Should taste like a lot of peanuts. Like 1,000. 3 squillion, 2 billion. A zillion peanut butter. Like a mountain full of peanuts.
That's what they want. Peanut butter that tastes like a mountain of peanuts. And that's new, tastier Jif peanut butter. Tastes like a mountain of peanuts. So if you've always thought there was no difference in peanut butters, wait till you taste Jif. New, tastier Jif is bursting with big, fat, juicy peanuts that give it the richest, fullest, most packed with peanuts taste. Taste you've always wanted in a peanut butter. Yes, Jif tastes like a mountain of peanuts. Get Jif. New, tastier Jif. Tastes like a mountain of peanuts.
Search for Tomorrow is brought to you by Jif, the peanut butter that packs a mountain of peanuts into every jar. Jif, for a mountain of rich, alive, luscious peanut taste.
Shampoo lather gets you squeaky clean all over. Deodorant fresh, too. Most soaps, with or without deodorant, just can't leave you as clean as Zest. They leave a sticky soap film behind, here and on you. But with Zest, no soap film on the mirror or on you.
Oh, feel really clean. That's clean.
Search for Tomorrow. Brought to you by new extra strength Dash that makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
Okay, Bill, it was nice talking to you. Right. Hope we can work something out when your family gets here. So long. Well, Bill's family will be here in about a week, honey. Bill's coming down first.
It'll be wonderful to see the whole Allen family. They're so nice.
Yeah. I sure could use Bill at Westside Auto.
But there's only one Bergman, right?
Right. Oh, I'll get it to you.
Hello. What are you running there, a horse parlor? I've been trying to call you for 30 minutes.
Well, sorry, Sam. I was talking long distance to a friend, and the minutes flowed like wine. Expensive wine. What can I do for you?
Well, you and Marge could come to dinner a week from tomorrow, if you will.
Hey, pulling a Bergman, huh?
That's right. You started the trend.
Yeah, well, hold on a minute, Sam. Honey, Sam would like us to dinner next Friday. How about it? We got anything going?
Not a thing. I'd love to.
Yeah, Sam, we'd love to. Just we three?
No, I have some other distinguished guests in mind.
Uh-huh. Anybody we know, I hope?
Yes, I think so. I spoke to Dr. Rogers this morning. I think we can count on him and Emily, and now that you've accepted, I'm going to push my luck and call Joanne Tate.
Well, good for you, Sam. Yeah, I'll hang up right now so you can call her while you're still in the mood. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, how about that, honey?
Who else has been invited?
Oh, Bob and Emily Rogers, you and me. And, oh, yeah, he's calling Joanne right now.
That's nice. Pretty obvious, you know.
No, honey, I don't know.
Joe's the whole reason for the party.
Well, just exactly how do you know that?
I don't, but Sam does.
Name the stain. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. Name the dirt. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. Name the toughest problem a detergent can handle. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. The new Oxidol. Only Oxidol has green bleaching crystals. Color-safe bleach that washes and bleaches out even tough ground-in dirt. Gets things white like no plain detergent can. Name the stain. Name the dirt. Name your toughest laundry problems. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
The new Oxidol. Just out. Try it.
Should I knock?
Hi, don't you dare. And what brings you out this way? Miss Marge isn't sick, is she?
Oh, no. I just wanted to do some walking and some thinking. I guess I thought a little too much, so I invited myself for a cup of coffee.
Marvelous. Just put it on. I was writing a letter to Fred and Allison, and I had just run out of news. Good news, anyway.
Funny, that's what happened to my cheerful thoughts. I ran out.
Nick and Emily?
Nick's a very nice young man. I like him very much. And Emily likes him much too much.
How much is too much?
Too much, Emily. Not enough, Nick. Emily invites Nick to dinner. Emily enters Nick as her partner in the tennis tournament. Emily suggests to Nick that they go dancing. And Nick always seems to have other plans.
You think she's in love with him?
That's what started my walking and thinking. I'm afraid so. Unless maybe she's just in love with the idea of finding someone to help people from being lonely and bored and restless. Tempted to quit her job, leave town, go to New York, go on the town with a girl she knows there. A girl who's evidently just as bored and restless as she is. Jill, you actually see more of my daughter than I do. What do you think?
If she's in love with Nick? I hope not.
For the same reasons I've been giving?
No, it's simpler than that. Too simple, really.
Because Nick is in love with Patti. Pretty hopeless, isn't it? For Emily and for Nick. An unhappy progression. Emily is to Nick as Nick is to Patti, as Patti is to Len White.
As Len Whiting is to Andrea. But that is different. That's mother love. Excuse me. Hello?
Joanne, Sam Reynolds.
Hello, Sam.
Joanne, I'm asking a few people to dinner next Friday night. Bob Rogers and Emily and Stu and Marge. And now I've summoned up the courage to call you.
Sam,
Yes?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you didn't. I just wanted to ask you if, well, will you come too?
Sam, I am very sorry. I just don't think I'll be able to make it.
Of course. I understand. Good night.
Good night.
He was so hopeful that you would come.
I just can't, Bob. It's just too much. Everything is too much right now. It isn't just Arthur, though that probably would be enough. I mustn't become too friendly with Len Whiting's father.
Why not, Joe?
Because I'm Patti Tate's mother. And right now, that's difficult enough.
Oh, boy. You know what this stuff does? Right. Today's dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
I know what they mean by 10 feet tall cleaning. Look, I've been using Dash for 6 weeks, and these shirt collars never looked this clean.
Dash does get those shirt collars cleaner than any other low subdirt. They've put so much extra strength in it.
I believe it. Look how this apron came out. It was the greasiest thing.
Sure, there isn't any detergent that beats Dash for getting out grease like that.
What?
No detergent. High suds or low beats new Dash when it comes to getting out grease.
Doesn't surprise me. Dash really does the job.
And the people who make this machine recommend Dash's Safe Suds. Every manufacturer does. So why don't you find out why we say today's Safe Sudsing Dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
Dr. Rogers speaking.
Bob, where have you been?
Well, I went for a walk. Do you mind?
Well, I'm sorry, but this evening has been one frustration after another. I've been calling you for 30 minutes, and you don't answer. I tried calling Joanne for a half hour, and Mrs. Miller was on the phone here. When I finally did call her... Hey, are you still there?
Still here, Sam. Still listening.
No, good. I've decided to call off that dinner party. It was an idiotic idea to begin with.
Because Joanne wouldn't accept your invitation?
How'd you know that?
I would have known from your voice and your attitude, even if I hadn't been there.
Well, what are you talking about? Been where?
Well, I was having a cup of coffee with Joe when you called.
Oh. Well, then you heard what she said to me. What did she say after we hung up?
Privilege, Sam. I take the fifth.
Look, don't pull that from me.
All I can tell you is give her a little more time. She's come a long way. But she still has a long way to go. Oh, and one more thing.
What?
I accepted an invitation to dinner at your house. So did Emily. So did the Bergmans. Now, don't you cancel it.
Why not?
Because you've got a long way to go, too, Sam. And there's no reason to go alone.
All right. The dinner is still on. I can't disappoint my housekeeper. Mrs. Miller would have a fit.
Where'd you go this evening?
To the ice skating rink, or now it's roller skating. And no Andrea, just Len and me.
She busy with her boutique?
No, although Len said she was exhausted. She's been fighting with the painters all day.
Fighting with painters can be pretty exhausting.
Yes. But that wasn't it, Mom. I asked Len to ask his mother not to come.
You did?
Yes. I decided to be selfish for a change. And you know why? Because Andrea has been with us day and night now, ever since she decided to stay here in Henderson. And I just think it's time that Len and I had a chance to have one dinner alone, one evening alone. Don't you think?
Not really important what I think. You sound like you have some pretty strong thoughts on the subject.
Strong thoughts on a lot of subjects. Subjects about Len and me that we want to talk about alone. We're going to be married in 3 weeks, Mom. And there are a jillion little, well, you know, personal things that we want to talk over by ourselves without... Oh, I just wanted some privacy, that's all. Is that so unreasonable?
Not to me. What did Len think about it?
He went to see Andrea before he came to pick me up, and he said that she understood perfectly.
I'm sure she did. That wasn't the question. What did Len think about asking Andrea not to go along tonight?
Well, he seemed to understand.
At least I think he did. Anyway, he'd better, Mom, because there's going to be more and more of this from now on. Little old Martyr Mouse has had it. And I'm sick of it.
Make way for this new brigade of kitchen helpers. 7 of the handiest, dandiest utensils ever made by Echo. All heavy-duty steel with dishwasher-proof handles. And you get this entire set free right in your store when you buy these special packages of Mr. Clean, Joy, Ivory Snow, and Oxidol. There's a hard-working utensil for every cooking job. Like, well, to name a few, a spoon for basting, a ladle for tasting, slotted turner for draining, slotted spoon for straining, a turner for flipping, a fork for gripping, this knife for slicing or even dicing. These wonderful, long-lasting Echo kitchen helpers are waiting in your favorite store right now, all free from Mr. Clean, Joy, Ivory Snow, and Oxidol. Get yours today.
Search for Tomorrow is brought to you by new Mr. Clean, the all-purpose cleaner that hates dirt, all kinds of dirt. Search for Tomorrow. Brought to you by Crisco, with a highly unsaturated vegetable formula. For digestible fried foods that don't taste greasy. Crisco.
How do you spell Cincinnati? Cincinnati. 2 T's and 1 N or 2 N's and 1 T?
2 N's and 1 T. No, wait a minute. Let me see. Yes, that's right.
Looks funny. But then so does the other way.
Who's in Cincinnati, a friend of yours?
Oh, no. I don't even know the gentleman. He's the last living cousin of Mrs. Markle, who's been very sick. She can't write to him, so I said I would.
Well, that's a nice thing to do, Emily.
Well, it wasn't my idea. It was Dr. Hunter's. She's his favorite patient. And he's my favorite doctor. And man. And when a girl's a volunteer, she volunteers, right, Daddy?
All the same, doing it this way on your own time is very nice.
Daddy? Is Nick as good a doctor as everybody thinks he is?
Better.
Better than Len Whiting?
Not as brilliant, maybe. But every bit as solid and knowledgeable and reliable. Thing is, he's so casual and self-effacing that the patient is cured before he even knows who cured him.
Nick would like that. Mind if I quote you?
Why should you? He doesn't need any compliments from me.
But, Daddy, he worships you. It would make me so happy if I could tell him how you feel.
Well, why?
Why not?
I just don't think it's suitable, honey. After all, Dr. Hunter and I do have a professional relationship to maintain.
And you don't want me trading on it, is that right?
In a sense, yes. You know how I feel.
And you know how I feel about Nick. Do you want me to give him up just because you're his boss?
No, of course not. The way you feel about him is your problem. But I do think you're going to end up disappointed.
Why do you say that?
I had a talk with Joanne Tate yesterday to confirm something I felt for a long time. Emily, Nick is hopelessly in love with Patti.
I know that. Nick confided in me. He told me about Patti. But it's not hopeless, Dad. At least not as far as I'm concerned.
Doesn't it worry you?
Nick fell fell in love with Patti long before he knew that I existed. That was before my time.
Well, what of it? He's still in love with her.
But Patti has never given him a tumble. I have.
Honey, I think you're missing the real point.
Dave, the real point is, well, I may not be good in arithmetic, but I know how to read a calendar. And in exactly 4 weeks, Patti's going to be off the market. When she marries Len, Nick's going to need someone to cheer him up. And that somebody's going to be me. So we can be lonely together instead of being lonely alone.
Louise, is that your regular brand of shortening? Yes, why? Did you know that kind contains animal fat? I thought all shortenings in cans were vegetable. No, some shortenings in cans contain animal fat. How can I be sure it's vegetable? Be sure it's Crisco.
Crisco is always all vegetable shortening with special protection against greasy taste. So fry right with Crisco for digestible fried foods that don't taste greasy.
To be sure it's vegetable. Be sure it's Crisco. Come on, Timmy, let's go.
Hold it before you blast off. You brush your teeth. There's the glaze.
Your mother's always making me do that. Yeah, but I bet I get less cavities than you.
Yes, mothers who care know one sure way to help fight decay is to brush right and use Gleam. You see, a harmful deposit called plaque forms on teeth. Proper brushing with Gleam removes most plaque. So remember, one sure way to help fight decay is to brush right and use Gleam.
What's the matter?
Oh, I was just thinking, honey. Wonder how Sam made out.
About what?
Oh, come on, Marge. That dinner party he's giving next week. I wonder how things are going.
Obviously very well, or he wouldn't be having it.
No, not necessarily at all, honey. Look, he called us first. Okay, we'll be there, and I suppose Bob and Emily Rogers could make it, but that could be it.
Sweetheart, don't be ridiculous. This whole dinner party is for Joe. The rest of us are just window dressing, and you know it.
Well, that's just what I mean, honey. I wonder how he made out with Joe. He admitted he was a little nervous about calling her. Maybe he got cold feet, you know, so I thought maybe I ought to call him and see how he made out.
Oh, honey, now wait a minute. Their relationship, if they ever have one, is going to be up to Sam and Joe. So don't try to carry the responsibility of it around on your shoulders.
Okay, honey. You do it.
Do what?
The logical, simple thing, honey. Call Joe and ask her if she's been invited if Sam called her.
Well, now, that's pretty crude.
Well, why?
Suppose he didn't. Suppose he changed his mind. Where does that leave me?
No, honey, I just mean fish around a little bit, you know?
Oh, Stu.
Just sneak up on it, Marge. Don't come right out and ask it.
Honey.
All right, if you don't do it, I'll do it.
Oh, all right. For goodness sakes, I'll do it.
I'll get it. If you can get 29 across.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing?
Oh, nothing much. Patty's waiting for Len to pick her up. I was working on the crossword puzzle.
Not last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's murder.
Oh, good. Keep me busy all week.
Well, that'll take you clear through next Friday. But of course you can't work it on then, can you?
Why not?
Well, I just thought maybe we'd all be together on Friday night.
I'm not going anywhere Friday, Marge.
Sam asked you, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I told him I was very sorry, but I wouldn't be able to make it. Honey, Patti needs some help with the hem and a dress. I'll talk to you later, okay, dear? Bye-bye.
There is nothing wrong with my hem.
Sorry to use you as an excuse, darling. I just didn't want to get hung up with Marge.
Sam asked you somewhere?
To a dinner party? I'm not going.
Mom. When are you going to stop cutting yourself off from people?
People are one thing, Sam Reynolds is another.
He's a very nice person, Mom. He's hurt, and he's lonely, and he's had a lot of trouble.
So have I. And Sam Reynolds caused most of it.
I'm sorry, darling. I hate myself when I talk that way. And I know. Self-pity is too easy. It's too handy. Then pity stands. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Stop right there, please. I really don't want to talk about it, Patti. It's very upsetting, and it's puzzling. There's Les. Go have a good time. Okay, Mom. And, good luck on your puzzle.
Uh-oh. Guess what's going to happen now? Right. Today's dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
You know, I wasn't sure I knew what that 10 feet tall business meant till I saw how these T-shirts came out. The next, they're clean.
That's what we've been saying. Dash gets them cleaner than any other low sudser. They've added so much extra strength to it.
Take a look at this tablecloth. There was a big grease spot right here.
Sure, there isn't any detergent that beats Dash for getting out grease.
Any detergent?
Yes, ma'am, no detergent. High suds or low beats new Dash for getting out grease.
I'm sure so, and I've been doing laundry for some 15 years.
You know, the company that makes this machine recommends Dash's Safe Suds. They all do. So why don't you find out why we say, today's Safe Sudsing Dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
I understand that your mother's starting to get out once in a while these days. I mean, besides the hospital. I think that's wonderful, Patti.
Not often, Andrea. I wish you'd do more of it.
Where did I hear that she was out to dinner with Sam the other night? Or did I read it somewhere? Or did you tell me, darling?
But let's skip it.
Well, I'm all for that, but first I want to make a correction. Mom went over to Stu and Marge for dinner, and Sam happened to be another guest.
Oh, then she didn't know he was going to be there. Oh, that's quite different.
No, Andrea. Mom knew that Sam was going to be there. The burglars are her friends. She didn't want to disappoint them.
No, that was courteous and thoughtful. And I'm sure that in spite of everything, she had a very nice time.
Everything? What everything, Andrea?
Well, it would have seemed to me, not that I'm a judge of that kind of situation, but it was very generous of Joanne to sit down at the table with someone who was... Well, I see no reason to go into it.
Well, I do. If you're implying that Sam Reynolds had anything to do with Dad's death, you are mistaken.
Is she, Patti?
Well, apparently you both are. I mean, I feel rather stupid having to defend your father and Andrea's husband against both of you, but if I have to, I will.
Darling, please don't talk like that. In fact, let's talk about something else. We should never have gotten into it. It's my fault.
Yes, but now that we are into it, haven't you also been defending my father to your own mother?
Yes, constantly. I like Sam more than almost anyone I have ever met. And I wish you would see him as I do, and I wish you would see him as I do, and I wish Andrea would see him as I do.
In other words, we're all wrong. And you're right.
Well, if you insist on putting it that way, yes, Len. But it isn't a question of that. It's a question of carrying on these useless feuds all your life. Andrea, you have told me over and over again how you wish that Len and Sam would be more like a son, more like a father. You have told me how much you hate all this hatred.
I also hate emotionalism, darling. Please, pretty please, let's talk about something else.
Make way for this new brigade of kitchen helpers. 7 of the handiest, dandiest utensils ever made by Echo. All heavy-duty steel with dishwasher-proof handles. And you get this entire set free right in your store when you buy these special packages of Joy, Ivory Snow, and Oxidol. There's a hard-working utensil for every cooking job, like, well, to name a few, a spoon for basting, a ladle for tasting, slotted turner for draining, slotted spoon for straining, a turner for flipping, a fork for gripping, this knife for slicing or even dicing. These wonderful, long-lasting Echo kitchen helpers are waiting in your favorite store right now, all free from Joy, Ivory Snow, and Oxidol. Get yours today.
Search for Tomorrow is brought to you by new Mr. Clean, the all-purpose cleaner that hates dirt, all kinds of dirt. Search for Tomorrow, brought to you by new Mr. Clean, the all-purpose cleaner that hates dirt, all kinds of dirt.
What's the matter, Pop? Didn't Willie Mays hit 2 homers in 1 inning?
No, as a matter of fact, he didn't. No.
Honey, what's wrong?
Marge, if my only problem was Willie Mays' batting average, I'd have no problem. It's Sam Reynolds' batting average.
Well, he tried. At least we have to give him credit for that.
Joe threw him a curve, and that was it.
Oh, honey, I don't think that's fair, really. Joe wasn't deliberately trying to hurt Sam. She just has an instinct for, a kind of self-protection.
Protect yourself from Sam? Honey, he's the last guy in the world.
No, I don't mean protection exactly. It's more like, defending herself from the way she probably really feels about Sam.
Well, the only way to change that is to get to know him better, isn't it?
Not necessarily. Might make it worse in a way.
How do you figure that?
Well, honey, for Jo to accept Sam, she has to give up a little bit of her loyalty to Arthur. Don't you see that?
No, I sure don't.
Well, if Sam was right to sell those oil leases before Arthur could finish drilling, then suddenly Jo is, terribly vulnerable. She's discovered that Sam's hands are clean, and now that makes him strong. He's no longer an object of contempt. So there's nothing left but for her to accept him, become his friend. The way Jo feels, that would be a little bit like killing Arthur all over again.
Well, now, honey, she can't just ignore him.
That's exactly what she's trying to do.
Oh. Well, I might as well call him.
And say what?
Honey, Sam is giving that dinner party for Jo, practically. And now that she's refused to go, who needs the party? Certainly not Sam. I mean, all that awkward small talk just because of one empty chair. But you think I'm right?
Yes. But Sam doesn't need any advice on the problem. If he wants to cancel that dinner party, he will. Without your advice and consent.
Oh. Would you mind terribly if I go watch the rest of the ball game, honey? Willie Mays might just do it tonight.
Do what?
Hit 2 home runs in 1 inning? It's got to be a first time, even for Willie.
Today is going to be different for Geraldine Finster. She has a secret weapon to fight the dull mediocrity in her life. New Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt.
No other kind of cleaner on earth cleans like new Mr. Clean. Put some excitement in your life with new Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt.
Looks tremendous.
Hell, get me out of this.
Come on.
I can't wear this thing to any party.
Confidentially, I think my husband's worried about perspiration odor.
Got a surprise for him. New Secret Super Spray Deodorant for the whole family.
Katie will give it a try.
First prize.
We've got the winning secret.
New Secret Super Spray helps you feel cool, calm, protected.
Patti? Hi. Hi. Didn't expect you home so soon? Oh, not soon enough. Good night. Hey, no fair. I need somebody to talk to. Oh, Mom, I am not fit to talk to. All right, you talk, I'll listen. Don't listen to me. I'll ruin what's left of your nice evening. Hey, you are upset. And mad, which is worse, I guess. Len? And his mother. It was 2 against 1 tonight, but I fought back, and I am glad. Honey, what happened? It involves you, Mom. You won't like it. At least all the more reason I should hear about it, don't you think? It was about Stu and Marge's dinner the other night. Len knew about it, and he told Andrea. Well, what of it? Len took it upon himself to criticize you for attending with his father, and Andrea decided to agree. Well, I didn't, and I told them both I didn't. I almost enjoyed it. Not really, I guess honestly I hated it. I was being torn 3 ways, Mom. My fiancé, who accused me of being disloyal, my future mother-in-law, who accused me of being emotional, and my mother. Oh, guess who came out on top? Darling, don't ever feel you have to defend me. Oh, it's my pleasure, Mom. Until I realized I was attacking them both because they were trying to include you and me in their tedious little family war, and that shook me. And forcing you to take sides with Sam. And you, Mom. Oh, now, Patti, just a minute. You can't lump Sam and me together. We're not exactly... Mom, you don't hate Sam. You're coming out of that. But Len, he's hated him for 20 years. It's a way of life with him. But, Andrea, I really thought she felt the way I felt about them. I mean, I thought she wanted them to be, well, if not a father and son, at least not enemies. But after tonight, I'm not too sure. And on the way home, Len... Oh, it is so discouraging. Sometimes it just seems so hopeless. Darling, what did he say? He wondered if everything I had said tonight hadn't been a chance I had been waiting for so long. And get this, to express my deep-seated hostility towards his mother. It's a tight little circle, isn't it? From hostility to hatred, back to hostility. Very small world to live in. Sometimes I wonder if there's room enough for 2. But I'll find out about that, won't I? But one thing I do know. If Andrea's going to stay here forever and 90 days, there are going to be some new laws made. Be careful about laws, darling. Once they're made, they have to be lived by. And that can be awfully hard. Mom, I can't help it. I have got to, if this marriage is going to work. I have got to come first with Len. Or is that being selfish? Depends on what you mean. Oh, Mom, you know what I mean. Len can't be Andrea's son first and my husband second. No. But don't you think he'd insist that you come first? Like he did tonight?
Name the stain. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. Name the dirt. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. Name the toughest problem a detergent can handle. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. The new Oxidol. Only Oxidol has green bleaching crystals. Color-safe bleach that washes and bleaches out even tough ground-in dirt. Gets things white like no plain detergent can. Name the stain. Name the dirt. Name your toughest laundry problems. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
The new Oxidol. Just out. Try it.
Andrea.
Out here, darling.
What are you doing out here?
Just looking. Thinking. Cooling off.
I'm glad I came back. I can use a little cooling off myself.
Try not to feel that way, Len. Hold on. You'll be married soon.
I don't understand what came over her. Talking like that.
Patty's human, like the rest of us. She can control her resentment just so long.
Of you or me?
Both of us, apparently. I don't think she was being intentionally rude, do you?
Oh, of course not. Sort of upset. But I still can't see why she had to suddenly turn on you like that.
I can, in a way. She thought I was deserting her. I should never have agreed with you about your father and her mother. Oh, but don't resent Patti for criticizing me, darling. I'm a big girl. I can take care of myself. And if I can overlook her behavior tonight, you most certainly can. In fact, you've got to. There's so little time left before the wedding. Barely enough time to... So many adjustments left to make.
I suppose so. I guess the best thing to do is just to forget it.
Of course it is. Patti respects and admires Sam a great deal, doesn't she?
Yeah. In spite of what happened to you and me. And in spite of what happened to her own father. That's what baffles me.
Shouldn't. Our Sam is still a very charming man when he wants to be. Listen to the boat. There's Oregon. Oregon. Sometimes I hear it alone at night.
Andrea, we were talking about now. Patti.
And Sam. Did he actually suggest that you two elope?
Yes.
Tell me something, Len.
What?
Why is it that everyone I've ever wanted to love fights me, tries to escape from me? What's wrong with me, darling?
Nothing. They're wrong. Don't talk like that.
Here's your cake, Mrs. Johnson. Hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. Marie sure makes great cake, doesn't she?
Delicious.
Hi, girls. Thanks for holding the fort.
Marie, we've got to have your recipe.
What recipe?
Your cake recipe.
Well, my recipe is Duncan Hines.
Duncan Hines? A mix? I can't believe it. Tastes so moist.
Sure, Duncan Hines is moist as homemade. Look, those crumbs show how moist. Pick them up with your fork.
Hey, they cling together.
No dry cake does that.
It is moist as homemade.
That's why my recipe's Duncan Hines.
Get moist as homemade Duncan Hines cake mix. And now, another adventure in good eating from Duncan Hines. Look, inside Duncan Hines brownie mix, this exclusive new chocolate flavor packet. For brownies that taste extra chocolatey, extra fudgy, get Duncan Hines brownie mix.
Whenever you visit our forests and parks,
take time to be careful with fire. Like Smokey the Bear says, only you can prevent forest fires. Search for Tomorrow is brought to you by Duncan Hines Cake Mixes. Duncan Hines, always an adventure in good eating.
Join the party, Alice.
As soon as I set the table and wipe these spots off the glasses. That dishwasher.
Don't blame your dishwasher. You need a better detergent. Cascade with chlorine. Look, inside your dishwasher, even clean water forms drops that spot. But Cascade's chlorine changes water into clear rinsing sheets. That's sheeting action. No drops, no spots.
No wiping.
Cascade's the most popular. It eliminates drops that spot.
Search for Tomorrow. Brought to you by new Oxidol, now with extra whitening power. Oxidol with little green bleaching crystals to give you a bleak, white wash.
Yes, Nancy. Allen? Oh, Bill Allen. Yes, of course. Have him come right in.
Hi, Stu.
Oh, come in. Well, what do you think?
Great. I see you've got a new secretary.
Oh, yeah, a lot of changes since you worked for me, Bill. As you probably noticed.
I sure did.
Sit down.
Oh, thanks. I'll admit I cased the joint before I came to see the boss. It's great. From one end to the other. The shop, 2 lifts, a car wash, and all that new equipment, and the showroom. Everything shines like a headlight. When you expanded, you really went to town.
Well, out of town, really, Bill. The move today is to the suburbs. So when they opened up this shopping center, Sam Reynolds and I leased this place, moved out, and we've been going great guns ever since.
Sam Reynolds, I don't think I remember him.
Oh, no, of course not. He's new in town. Nice guy. Sort of my silent partner. Well, Bill, what do you think of that foreign car I franchised? Do you think you could service those?
Service it? I'd buy it if I could find someplace to stow Kitty and the kids and had a good job.
Let's talk about that.
A good job. Oh, now, look, I wasn't trying to... I just came by to say hello to my favorite boss.
Okay, you said hello. Let's talk turkey. Have you moved in yet?
No, I came on ahead to see that the house was all right and everything. The tenants left it in good shape, so Kitty will drive the kids back by the time the moving van gets here next week. They're staying with their grandmother in St. Louis. I came back to, well, reconnoiter and see what's available.
Well, your old job is available, Bill. Or, better still, I could use a good service manager.
You mean it, Stu? After having been gone for 5 years?
Oh, now, look, you walked out on West Side Auto. We didn't leave you. So welcome back. Like, starting as soon as you can.
Well, you're sure you can use me? I'm not just sort of wedging back in.
Oh, I could use 3 more like you, Bill. Of course, I'd have to pull your salary up in line, but, what do you think?
Back home. Same old town. Same old house. Same old boss. You know, a man's crazy to ever leave home.
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes that old horizon looks pretty exciting.
Well, until you get there and look back. We got lost in St. Louis. It's a great place. Nice people, but, well, it's their St. Louis. It never got to be ours. Henderson's ours. It belongs to Kitty and me. Well, I guess we belong to Henderson. Sure. We were raised here. The kids were born here. Look, I'm wasting your time trying to say just one thing. I'd rather go back to work for you than anything I can think of.
Okay. How about Monday morning? I'll give you the specs on the new models, and you can brush up on them over the weekend.
You have got yourself a service manager.
Great.
When I leave here, I'm going to call Kitty in St. Louis and tell her the news, and she's going to bawl. Not long, because she knows long-distance bawling gets expensive. And then she's going to pull herself together and ask me to look around for a sitter for the kids so that she can boss the moving men around without having to boss the kids, too. And then you know what?
No, what, Bill?
Long distance, or no long distance, she is going to bawl again.
Name the stain. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. Name the dirt. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. Name the toughest problem a detergent can handle. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
Oxidol has its own bleach. The new Oxidol. Only Oxidol has green bleaching crystals. Color-safe bleach that washes and bleaches out even tough ground-in dirt. Gets things white like no plain detergent can. Name the stain. Name the dirt. Name your toughest laundry problems. Oxidol.
Washes whiter, bleaches whiter.
The new Oxidol. Just out. Try it.
But Patty's all right physically. You don't think I should drop by?
Oh, no, thank you, Bob. She's just exhausted. She wanted to go to work this morning. I put my foot down. You know, if those are a shift anyway, she's covering.
Tension, excitement, too much wedding, like that, Joe?
Tension. Andrea and Len Whiting like that.
I know it's none of my business, but...
Bob, I really don't want to talk about it. It's kind of upsetting. Would you pass me the salt?
Sometimes when a person is upset, the best thing to do is talk.
I'm not upset for myself. I'm upset for my daughter.
I can see that, Joe.
And I need the pepper.
I think maybe you've had enough.
It's just so frustrating to see her go through this again. She's been through it a half a dozen times before. Now she and Len are right back in the same old place. I'm angry because I'm apprehensive, and for goodness sakes, let's talk about something else.
Good. Oh, may I talk about the wedding for a minute?
Carefully.
You know me. I'm the picture of diplomacy. No, Emily presented me with a list this morning.
A list? Not grievances. She's been so chipper.
Oh, no, there are no particular grievances on this list. She keeps them in her head. Now, which, in your opinion, would Dr. and Mrs. Whiting prefer as a gift from Emily Rogers and her father? A blender with conservatively about 300 attachments, a mahogany salad bowl, which Emily claims looks like a bathtub without any fixtures, or a suitable check from Father Rogers, so that Patti could buy something that she really wants.
I wouldn't dream of even attempting to make that decision. I'll just pass this list on to Patti, and she and Emily can discuss it endlessly.
Personally, Emily is a dedicated romantic. But when it comes to other people's romances, she's inclined to be practical. Confidentially, she votes for the check.
Confidentially, so do I. I don't suppose I sound much like the mother of the bride.
It's going to be fine, Joe. It's going to be wonderful.
Is it, Bob?
Oh, hello, Sam. Won't you join us?
Maybe I better not. Joanne, I noticed Patti isn't at work this morning. She's not ill, I hope.
No. Sam, I wish you would sit down. I'd like to tell you all about Patti.
Geraldine Finster has probably never done a really exciting thing in her entire life. But today is different. Today, Geraldine has a secret weapon to fight the dull mediocrity in her life. You, Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt. You, Mr. Clean, rubs out grime. Gets rid of grease.
polishes off stains. No other kind of cleaner cleans like new Mr. Clean. No liquid, powder, cleanser, detergent, or soap. Nothing. Put some excitement in your life. With new Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt.
Sit here, Sam. I'll get us some more coffee.
What's wrong, Joanne? Something happened to Patti?
Physically, she's just tired. Emotionally, she's exhausted. Another outburst from Len of bitterness, anger.
Why? What caused that?
It certainly wasn't Patti.
It's Andrea. Don't blame me for Andrea. I've warned Patti about her 100 times.
Yes, you did. And if only you had stopped there with the warning instead of urging her to elope with Len. That's what Len resents. That's what Andrea resents.
So do you, of course.
Yes, I do. Right now, I must admit I resent just about everything there is to resent about all of it. I almost wish Patti had never laid eyes on Len Whiting. I wish you and your wife had never come to Henderson. I resent what the Reynolds family has done to my daughter.
Oh, Joanne, you're trying to indict the whole Reynolds family. There is no Reynolds family. Andrea and Len have chosen to be a family apart. You can't hold me responsible for their actions.
Len is your son. Or is that only when you're proud of him?
Of course not.
Well, then aren't you concerned about him?
I don't know why I'm defending myself. Of course I'm concerned about him. I'm concerned for them both. I want them both to have a chance. That's why I told Patti to elope now while they have a chance. Can't you see that? Aren't you beginning to see some of the pressures I've been talking about? Andrea undercutting that marriage morning, noon, and night.
You sound as if they should escape from Andrea.
Of course they should, before it's too late.
But it's already too late. They're in love with each other, and Andrea is here. She's bought a gift shop. She intends to make her home here in Henderson. What if they did elope? Even if they did, that they couldn't escape from her. They couldn't escape from that. Oh, maybe there's some hope for Len. Some hope for him and Patti's love and her protection. He'd have his bride and his mother. But what about Patti? How would she escape? Living under Andrea's shadow, married to Len and his mother. Who saves Patti from too much mother, too much son? If you think about Patti, think about that. It's what I think about all the time.
Look out, it's hot.
Too much mother and too much son. She's right. Nothing left of the husband.
That's not your fault. He grew up with Andrea. He's what she made him.
I hoped there for a while. That's impossible. Joanne hates me. And I guess I don't blame her.
Suppose you ask kids how they want peanut butter to taste.
Like lots more peanuts. Should taste like a lot of peanuts. Like 1,000. 3 squillion, 2 billion. A zillion peanut butter. Like a mountain full of peanuts.
That's what they want. Peanut butter that tastes like a mountain of peanuts. And that's new, tastier Jif peanut butter. Tastes like a mountain of peanuts. So if you've always thought there was no difference in peanut butters, wait till you taste Jif. New, tastier Jif is bursting with big, fat, juicy peanuts that give the richest, fullest, most packed with peanuts taste. Taste you've always wanted in a peanut butter. Yes, Jif tastes like a mountain of peanuts. Get Jif. New, tastier Jif. Tastes like a mountain of peanuts.
for Tomorrow is brought to you by Jif, the peanut butter that packs a mountain of peanuts into every jar. Jif, for a mountain of rich, alive, luscious peanut taste. Search for Tomorrow. Brought to you by Pure Mild Ivory Snow, the soap that makes diapers feel soft as sterilized cotton.
Can I help you, Bob?
Busy?
No, not at the moment.
Sit down and talk to me for a minute.
I'd like to apologize for behaving so badly at lunch. Embarrassing you in the dining room.
You didn't. I'm afraid I can't say the same thing for Sam.
It was awkward and tasteless. I'm sorry about the whole thing. It just wasn't a very good day for Len's father to ask how Patti is. He should have known that.
I don't think he realized that Len was giving Patti a hard time. I know I didn't.
He's very well aware of Andrea's effect on Len. It might occur to him that a lot of that rubs off on Patti.
Are you saying that Sam should control his wife?
No, Andrea does a very good job of controlling him and their son. But that is their problem. They have no right to hand it to Patti.
I don't think they have, consciously. Len fell in love with Patti. Sam is also devoted to her. He sees Patti as Len's last chance.
And he is perfectly willing to see her used as an emotional shield to protect Len from his domineering mother. As a weapon in the Reynolds family Cold War.
Oh, Joe, do you really think that's what Sam is trying to do?
I think it's what's happening. If Sam Reynolds is really so devoted to Patti, why doesn't he try to protect her? Why doesn't he suggest that maybe this marriage should be postponed instead of insisting that they run away and elope?
I suppose there are two reasons for Sam's attitude. One is that he sees this as Len's last chance to be the man he hopes him to be. As far as Patti's concerned, he knows that Patti loves Len, as you know it. You're not doing anything to discourage the marriage. Why should he? If that's your goal, why don't you get together with Andrea? I'm sure she'd be happy to team up with you, if that's what you want.
Well, I want what would make Patti happy.
That's all Sam wants for Len. Doesn't that put you on the same side of the fence?
For very different reasons.
The reason is unimportant. Their happiness is important.
And there is a very slim chance of that.
Not because of Sam, because of Andrea.
I suppose so. I know all that anger, that attack on Sam, that was just me confirming for myself all my fears and doubts. I shouted at Sam that I used to talk over with Arthur. If you see Sam, would you tell him I'm very sorry? No, don't. I'll do that myself sometime.
He's having that dinner party tonight. I'd like to stop by and pick you up. Sam would like it too, very much.
I'm sorry, Bob. I just...
Uh-oh. Guess what's going to happen now? Right. Today's dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
You know, I wasn't sure I knew what that 10 feet tall business meant till I saw how these T-shirts came out. The next, they're clean.
That's what we've been saying. Dash gets them cleaner than any other low sudser. They've added so much extra strength to it.
Take a look at this tablecloth. There was a big grease spot right here.
Sure, there isn't any detergent that beats Dash for getting out grease.
Any detergent?
Yes, ma'am, no detergent. High suds or low beats new Dash for getting out grease.
I'm sure sold, and I've been doing laundry for some 15 years.
You know, the company that makes this machine recommends Dash's Safe Suds. They all do. So why don't you find out why we say, today's Safe Sudsing Dash makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall.
A cookout.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow night at our house.
I accept. And suddenly I'm starving. Why not make it tonight?
Oh, can't, Nick. We're going over to Mr. Reynolds for dinner. You going, Patty? Hmm? Oh, no, but tomorrow night sounds elegant. Pour house rare, please.
Me too. Slightly wounded on both sides.
Listen, do you think we can snag Dr. Whiting?
I don't think so. He's a real killjoy when it comes to steak. He'll ruin the whole party.
Who said?
Len likes it burned, Emily.
Well, that's all right. We've got steaks to burn.
Very funny, but burned steaks are a real morale killer.
Patty, don't let him talk that way about your fiancé. Hmm? Oh, don't talk that way about my fiancé.
Well, what is this? A convention? No, Emily's throwing a cookout. How do you like your steak, Doctor?
Burned, clear through.
The prosecution rests. Even the way he orders it is depressing.
Oh, now, don't mind him. Tomorrow night at our house, 8 o'clock, okay? Patty already ordered her steak. Rare. And now that I've got my steak orders, I guess I better get back to peddling my books.
Emily, skip my order. I don't think I can make it.
Oh. Gee, I'm sorry. Nick, could you open the door to room 402 for me, please?
Sure. Glad to.
Well, why did you do that, Len?
That should be obvious. Those are your new rules, Patty.
My new rules? What are you talking about?
Last night. That Emancipation Proclamation you stated for both of us, apparently.
Look, stop being sarcastic and just tell me what you are talking about.
Well, you know. You hold these truths to be self-evident? That you and I should lead our own lives as the engaged couple?
That's right. And something like this cookout is exactly what I was talking about.
No, that's wrong.
And what are you getting at?
You've laid down the law that we are not to clutter up our lives with my mother. Well, that thing, it may seem ridiculous to you. It's ridiculous.
Len, do you think that's what I meant? That my wanting to spend less time with Andrea is the same thing as going to a cookout with friends our own age? You decided to punish me, haven't you?
I'm sorry, I have a patient waiting.
Is in our television studio to help prove that a diaper washed in ivory snow feels as soft as sterilized cotton. Watch.
Which is softer?
Kids. This one.
Are you sure?
No.
Take a look.
Oh, I picked the diaper. That's fantastic.
Yes, ivory snow diapers do feel as soft as sterilized cotton. What could be safer for a baby's skin?
Pretty girl. Notice the skin?
Yeah. I think I've got it. Camé skin, I mean. Just by washing with Camé every day. I know there's cold cream in Camé. I know my skin feels soft. I guess it shows. Mr. Danley?
Yes.
Mrs. Danley?
No, unfortunately.
See? I think I've got it.
Camé skin. You get it by using Camé.
He called it my Emancipation Proclamation. He wanted to show me who was boss. As of July 8th, we will be incorporated instead of married. Len will be president, and I will be vice president, in charge of the future. But what future, Mom? He's showing me my place. He's going to make me eat my words. He's going to remind me of my rules, as he calls them. He's going to taunt me with them until I plead for us to include Andrea.
Honey, I said be careful about making rules. They have a way of coming back to haunt you.
They already have. Trying to find some way out, some way to retract with some shred of dignity. I just can't take these next 3 weeks. I'm going to go out of my mind. Oh, please let that be Len saying he's sorry. He does that best of almost anything. Mom, you ask her. Maybe you'll bring me some luck.
Hello? Joanne, this is Andrea. Could I speak to Patti for a minute?
Yes, just a moment, Andrea. Yes, Andrea.
Patti, I've got to talk to you. I feel that it's urgent. Could you come over to the hotel? Please, Patti?
Yes, well, I guess so. I'll see you in 15 minutes.
Sam is perfectly willing to see Patti used as an emotional shield to protect Len from a domineering mother. Well, I'm not. I'm not.
It was nice of you to come, Patti. I might as well get right to the point.
What's the matter, Auntie?
Well, Len came back here after your quarrel last night, and he said that you feel that I'm too much in the picture. That you want a more private, personal time with your fiancé before the wedding. Well, you do feel that way, don't you?
Well, it's not quite as simple as that, but yes, I do.
And I agree with you. I told Len that you were right. That you must start living your own lives now and not wait until you're married.
Well, thank you, Andrea. I hope you'd understand. I don't think Len does. I think he's a little confused and a little angry, I guess.
I should have sensed this weeks ago. But I don't know. Pride and happiness and love are so consuming that I never stopped to realize. But I do now. I should never have opened my gift shop. But that isn't something that can't be undone.
Oh, no, now, wait a minute,
Oh, listen to me,
Andrea.
darling, please. I've been foolish, but it's not too late. I asked you over here tonight to tell you that. I've thought this over very carefully and very objectively, and I'm just going to have to say it. Patti, you say the word, and I'll sell my boutique and leave Henderson. Just say the word, darling, and I assure you that I will understand. Tell me to go, and I'll go. Don't give me your answer now. Think about it.
Situation urgent. Dirt to the left. Dirt to the right. Dirt above. Dirt below. Luckily, you have a secret weapon. New Mr. Clean, he's mean. He hates dirt. New Mr. Clean gets rid of grease. New Mr. Clean polishes off stains. New Mr. Clean rubs out grime. No other kind of cleaner cleans like new Mr. Clean. No liquid, powder, detergent, cleanser, or soap. Nothing. Mission completed. Your secret weapon, new Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt.
Tomorrow is brought to you by New Mr. Clean, the all-purpose cleaner that hates dirt, all kinds of dirt.
Is that both you and Andrea are interfering. Andrea by trying to block the marriage in some mysterious way, which you've never quite described, and you by trying to get them married right away, even if it means eloping. Both of you are messing in their lives. You're putting more strain on Len.
Well, he takes it out on Patti, is that what you mean?
She's beginning to fight back, Sam. Not a very good preview of a marriage, is it?
Len could make it if he just keeps his head. Refuses to listen to that sweet, smiling poison of his mother. And has such possibilities, but alone, out from under.
I think so, too. I only wish Joanne agreed.
Yeah, with all due respect to Joanne, I feel that whatever my son has to prove, at this point it seems to be quite a lot, that he has to prove it to Patti, not her mother.
That's precisely the point, Sam. Joanne has some very grave doubts. Now, where do you think she gets them?
Obviously from Len himself. She's always had doubts about him, with good reason.
I'm talking about today's doubts, Sam. Not last year's, not even last month's.
What do you mean?
Only one thing could increase Joanne's existing doubts. Patti's doubts.
The Reynolds family. We're one for the books, aren't we?
Suppose you ask kids how they want peanut butter to taste.
Like lots more peanuts. Should taste like a lot of peanuts. Like 1,000. 3 squillion, 2 billion. A zillion peanut butter. Like a mountain full of peanuts.
That's what they want. Peanut butter that tastes like a mountain of peanuts. And that's new, tastier Jif peanut butter. Tastes like a mountain of peanuts. So if you've always thought there was no difference in peanut butters, wait till you taste Jif. New, tastier Jif is bursting with big, fat, juicy peanuts that give it the richest, fullest, most packed with peanuts taste. Taste you've always wanted in a peanut butter. Yes, Jif tastes like a mountain of peanuts. Get Jif. New, tastier Jif. Tastes like a mountain of peanuts.
Marge, I'm back.
Well, that was quick.
Well, I just dropped off the babysitter, honey, and look what I had to pick up.
Ice cream. After that dinner at Sam's? Nothing doing, honey. Your diet has suffered enough for one day.
Oh, Marge, come on.
This is going into the freezing compartment.
Well, it's a good try. But a pecan, too.
I'll tell you what.
What?
There's some prune yogurt here. Would you like some of that?
Over the ice cream, honey?
Oh, Stu, you're unbelievable.
Yeah, my stomach doesn't think so. Although, on the other hand, prune yogurt and butter pecan ice cream, it might have some doubts. My stomach, I mean.
Would you like some milk?
No, sweetie, I'll just get it.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But I do wish Joe could have been there.
Well, you're beginning to see what I mean about Sam, aren't you?
Mm. At first he seemed so stiff and arrogant. But that's a kind of shyness, isn't it?
Mm.
He feels that he isn't going to be accepted, so he pretends to be scornful as if he doesn't care. But he drops that when he knows you.
Yeah, I wish Joe could see that. That and his decency and his loneliness, which is just about on a par with hers. Not for the same reason, but the same amount.
When Patti gets married, she's going to be that much more lonely.
Yeah, I'm afraid they're both going to have the same problem, honey. Although Sam never really had a son the way Joe has a daughter. But there they'll be, both with time on their hands, both withdrawing from their friends. It shouldn't be that way, Marge. They're both much too valuable as people.
I don't know what more we can do that we haven't already tried. You know, at times it seems as if Joe's almost tempted to relax a little. And Patti tries to get her to go out and see people, but...
She ought to be seeing Sam, Marge. It'd be so good for both of them. But she just keeps turning them off like a light. He tries to make a connection, and she breaks it.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's only Sam.
No, I guess it's still Arthur.
To a great extent, yes. But there's more than that.
What do you mean, honey?
Patti, Stu.
Patti. They're all set to go, she and Len.
Yes, she thought they were. Joe called me this afternoon. It seems that Patti and Len had another argument, a real quarrel, about Andrea, which only confirms Joe's suspicion that Sam is pushing this marriage to save his son from Andrea, and Joe resents that. She's terribly discouraged about Patti.
Well, honey, it isn't as if this is the first time they've quarreled over his mother.
No, but a couple of days ago, Patti quarreled with his mother.
Oh, no.
Now even Patti's very discouraged herself, which is something else.
Pretty girl. Notice the skin? Yeah.
I think I've got it. Camay skin, I mean. Just by washing with Camay every day. I know there's cold cream in Camay. I know my skin feels soft. I guess it shows. Mr. Danley?
Yes.
Mrs. Danley?
No, unfortunately.
See? I think I've got it.
Camay skin. You get it by using Camay.
Mrs. de Merlier is helping us prove something. That a diaper washed in ivory snow feels as soft as sterilized cotton. Listen.
Which is softer?
You really can't tell the difference. This one?
Mrs. de Merlier picked the diaper because ivory snow makes diapers feel as soft as sterilized cotton. What could be safer for a baby's tender skin?
What did Andrea want? Was it all that urgent?
I don't know. She tried to make it sound that way.
What'd she say?
Oh, she started with her standard opening. Len told her about the quarrel we had last night, and Andrea was shocked to realize that she was the cause of it. But how can she be shocked? Who else can make my fiancé and me into a pair of dogs snarling at each other like that?
Honey, what did she do?
She made me a generous offer, Mom. No, actually, she threw a challenge right into my face, knowingly and deliberately.
Did you get to the point? What did she say?
Well, Andrea pretended to be very guilty. She should have seen what she was doing to the happy, engaged couple. But she was so consumed with pride and happiness about Len and me that she didn't realize that she was interfering with our lives. Until Len duly reported to her that I thought that we should see less of her and have a little time to ourselves.
You can't have reported it very diplomatically.
You can't tell what she's been told the way she tells it. Anyway, Andrea bravely told me that I was absolutely right and that what her two darlings...
She offered to leave?
Yes, she offered. All I have to do is to say the word, and Andrea will sell her boutique and leave Henderson within minutes, as she says it.
Well, it sounds too good to be true.
It is. All I have to do is tell Andrea I want her to leave, and all she has to do is tell Len that I asked her to leave. And then Len will get upset and heartsick and furious, and around it'll go. Worse than ever. I just can't win.
Oh, honey. It's not really a question of winning.
I know. It's a question of not losing everything I have. If Andrea really agreed with me, then she'd just get up and go. If she was really, really sincere about three's a crowd, she would have gone long ago. If she didn't want to give up as little and keep as much of Len as she could, she'd never come back to Henderson at all.
Well, she's made her offer. What was your answer?
Oh, I didn't hedge. I told her I'd think about it. Will you help me think about it?
Commandos are coming your way with invincible new Dash, the improved detergent that fights dirt fast. Actually rids your wash of dirt before the second rinse. The Wash Day Commandos are the special forces in new Dash, a unique team of cleaning forces. No other detergent has them. They rout grease, overpower grime, actually rid your wash of dirt before the second rinse.
What's the second rinse, ma'am?
Why, the rinse water's sparkling clear.
That means your wash is sparkling clean.
Yes, Dash rids your wash of dirt before the second rinse. Gets it sparkling clean.
Sparkling clean. Makes me feel proud. Fighting proud.
Call the special forces of Control Sudsing Dash to fight dirt for you.
The Wash Day Commandos of invincible new Dash.
for Tomorrow is brought to you by new Extra Strength Dash that makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall. Search for Tomorrow. Brought to you by Camay, the cold cream beauty soap for skin so soft people will notice. Camay Skin.
Bob, here are the back numbers of those journals you asked for.
Oh, good. I've been glad you could find him. Sit down, Joe.
Oh, they date way back to the 50s. What on earth do you want with them?
I'm considering writing a paper on the laboratory development of cobalt. It's background material. Now give me some on you.
So what?
Background material. You look tired. You're frowning. You seem discouraged.
Oh, I guess it's just infectious. Patty's down in the dumps. I'm really just a bystander, but it's hard to stand by and watch someone you love go through a hard time. As you well know, you've been through them with Emily.
Pretty frustrating, isn't it? You'd like to make everything right with a magic wave of the parental wand, and somehow being a parent makes it seem worse. What's got Patti down?
Len and Andrea, mostly Andrea.
What now? Or would you rather I just skip it?
No, I'd rather talk about it. You're the logical one to talk to. You think the way Arthur did.
Go ahead, talk.
2 days ago, Patti told Len she thought it was high time they started to live their own lives. That benefited mothers, relatives, other interested parties.
Well, good for her. Only 3 weeks before their wedding. I'm all for a brave show of independence and mean it.
Len wasn't. And he told Andrea what Patti had said.
Diplomatically, I trust.
I gather not.
Oh.
Anyway, Andrea summoned Patti and made her what, on the face of it, would seem to be a very reasonable offer. All Patti has to do is say the word. Andrea will sell her boutique, leave Henderson, pack up and go.
I hope Patti answered with a loud, ringing yes.
How on earth could she say yes? The minute she did, Andrea would see to it that the word was passed along to Len. He'd be even more furious with Patti than he is now. But if Patti says no, then Andrea will move further and further into their lives until... So Patti doesn't know what to say.
But if Andrea was sincere, if that offer was genuine, then...
Bob, if Andrea was sincere, she'd have sensed long ago the tension she creates between the two of them. And she'd have left them alone. If she really cared. But there's no point in going into it. The only point is that Patti is caught between a domineering mother and a doting son. I'm caught between Patti and both of them. So that's why I'm discouraged, to put it mildly.
Yes? I'm sorry. I'll come back later.
No, please don't bother. I was just leaving.
No. No, you're both staying. We've been discussing something that should be of interest to you. It concerns your wife. Come in, Sam.
They say if you wash with Camay, you get Camay skin. Well, I think I've got it. It's the things that have been happening to me lately. Like this.
They're playing Our Face.
He meant song. And this happened yesterday.
Dan, can you translate the word for us?
Lovely.
The word was broccoli. I don't know. I just started washing with Camay every day. Camay does have cold cream in it. Sure feels creamy. My skin does feel a lot softer. I kind of expected that, but all these other things...
Hey, sis, you look good.
See? I really think I've got it.
Camay Skin. You get it by using Camay.
I wonder what would happen if I used the bath size.
From the looks looks on your faces, I doubt there's much that I can do to help.
I think you should know about it, at least. Patti and Len had an argument the other night over Patti's insistence that they lead their own lives in anticipation of their wedding, without Andrea taking over.
Good for Patti.
That remains to be seen. Len told his mother about it, and then Andrea confronted Patti with an offer to pack up, sell out her gift shop, and get out of their lives, if that's the way Patti wants it.
Somebody tell me Patti told Andrea to go.
She hasn't yet.
And talk to her, Joanne. Make her. It may be the last chance she has.
It may not be as simple as that. As Joanne points out, if Patti encourages Andrea to leave town, how is Len going to feel about that?
Unless my son has changed a great deal lately, my wife can make him believe just about anything she wants him to believe.
And do you think he's changed that much?
I had hopes there for a while when Andrea went back to Paris, but now it seems she's got him back in the old groove.
Which means that Len will defend his mother and resent Patti even more.
I suppose so. Brilliant. And typical.
Huh?
Andrea, her battle plans and strategy. If Patti tells her to go and leave them in peace, she'll have no peace with Len. If Patti asks her to stay, that'll be the beginning of the end of that marriage, even before it starts. Heads, Andrea wins. Tails, Patti loses. Brilliant. What's Patti going to do, Joanne?
She doesn't know. I know what I'd like to see her do.
Tell Andrea to go, I hope.
Yes, tell her frankly that her continuing presence is a threat to their marriage.
You mean leave right now? Not even wait until after the wedding?
Now is very important, Bob. This 3 weeks before the wedding. Patti can't go through another 3 weeks like this, and she knows it.
I don't think Andrea cares about the wedding. That's sentiment, and she's never been very big on sentiment. She doesn't bother with the symbols. She deals with the hard facts, the present one being that she's about to lose her son to another woman.
That's not Patti's problem. Patti's problem is angering and alienating the man she plans to marry.
I think that's a chance she has to take.
Joe, there must be some alternative.
What? If Len is so dependent that he can't get married unless his mother is living in the same town, then maybe he shouldn't get married. He doesn't need a wife. He has a mother. I'm terribly sorry I had to say that, Sam. Patti's all I have left.
Looks tremendous.
Help! Get me out of this.
What's wrong?
I can't wear this thing to any party.
Confidentially, I think my husband's worried about perspiration odor.
Got a surprise for him. New Secret Super Spray Deodorant for the whole family.
Katie will give it a try.
First prize.
We've got the winning secret.
New Secret Super Spray helps you feel cool, calm, protected.
Now there's a secret weapon against dirt. New Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt. No other kind of cleaner cleans like new Mr. Clean. Nothing. Get your own secret weapon against dirt. Get new Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt.
Open, kids. I'll be with you in a second.
Hi.
Did you bring Patti?
I didn't ask her, Andrea.
Oh, and I ordered a lovely dinner downstairs for 3.
I think the head waiter will survive. I decided that Patti needed a day off. Or I did, or something. All right, isn't somebody going to offer me a drink?
Help yourself. I think you're being very foolish.
Why?
Penalizing the girl you're going to marry for wanting to be alone with you? She has the right. You both have.
I'm not penalizing her, Andrea. This is the way she wants it. I told you that.
It's not the way I want it at all.
I should think you'd resent her attitude more than I do.
But that's not the point, Len. I don't want to cause any more friction between you two than I already have, apparently.
You're talking as if you're in the middle. I'm the one in the middle. Between my two best girls. And I don't particularly enjoy it.
You shouldn't feel that you're in the middle. You should be on her side, by her side.
And leave you sitting here night after night?
Darling, stop sort of pitting me against Patti. That's not fair to either of us.
Patty's the one who's doing that, to you and me. Now, you're annoyed and I'm edgy. Because she wants to be independent.
Well, she has a perfect right to be.
Oh.
I think it's a little dense of you to resent Patti for wanting what every bride should want.
She's not a bride yet.
No. But she soon will be. And she's earned a right for a little privacy. And a chance to escape from a over-solicitous mother-in-law to be. Can't you understand that?
If you can, I guess I can.
Good. Then go and call her and tell her to come on over.
No, nothing doing. This is what she's trying to avoid. These jolly threesomes.
Well, we'll have a quick dinner downstairs, and then I'll come back up to my room, and you two can go out and twosome from there on.
Andrea.
Now, don't you argue with your little gray-haired mother, because... Hello, Patti? This is Andrea, darling. You're due to have dinner with Len and me at the hotel in 30 minutes. So slip into something loose and lovely and hurry, hurry. Of course I mean it. Well, both Len's idea and mine. And then I have some things I have to do, and you two can go out on the town. Does that sound all right? Good. We'll meet you downstairs. Bye, darling. Now, I don't know how you feel, but I know that I feel a lot better.
Okay. I'll admit it.
What?
Two things. I feel a lot better. And I have the most impulsive, unpredictable mother on earth. And the nicest.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Day Commandos are coming your way with Invincible New Dash, the improved detergent that fights dirt fast, actually rids your wash of dirt before the second rinse. The Wash Day Commandos are the special forces in New Dash, a unique team of cleaning forces. No other detergent has them. They rout grease, overpower grime, actually rid your wash of dirt before the second rinse.
What's the second rinse, ma'am?
Why, the rinse water's sparkling clear.
That means your wash is sparkling clean.
Yes, Dash rids your wash of dirt before the second rinse. Gets it sparkling clean.
Sparkling clean. Makes me feel proud. Fighting proud.
Call the special forces of Control Sudsing Dash to fight dirt for you.
The Wash Day Commandos of Invincible New Dash.
For Tomorrow is brought to you by new Extra Strength Dash that makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall. Tomorrow, brought to you by new Extra Strength Dash that makes your automatic clean like it's 10 feet tall. The part of Nick Hunter is being played by Ken Kercheval.
You made me lose count, Doctor.
Not a bad start for the rainy day in the middle of
The rain.
We needed each other. This has been the longest two-day drought on record.
I'm glad you thought so. I sure thought so.
You know, I disagree with the jerk who likes to quarrel because it's such fun to make up. Every time I quarrel with you, I get scared. Kind of sick.
So do I, Len.
Not like I do. I have more to lose than you do. So much more.
You are confusing me, Doctor. I have pills to count. Here, take an aspirin.
Why? I don't want to relax. I want to celebrate.
Oh, well, so do I. But not on hospital time.
But it's almost time for a coffee break. Suppose I go get us some. Would that ease your conscience?
Oh, I'd love to, Len, but I promised Mother I'd sneak down in the library and have some with her. Angie's going to cover for me.
Oh. Did you tell her that we're back on the track?
I didn't have to. I had 3 pieces of toast. She got the message.
Oh, mothers are really something, aren't they? Ours, at least.
Did you call Andrea this morning?
No, but I was thinking about her last night. You know, she felt worse about us than we did. Until we started to see eye to eye. Then she relaxed. Only then. But she scored the breakthrough for us. And she cleared the air. At least when she made me realize that how important it is for you to have some privacy.
Us, Len. It's going to be our lives.
Sure. But you're going to be the bride. No matter how contemporary Andrea seems. You know, youthful and hep and smart. She's going to be your mother-in-law. It's hard for me to realize that. I always think of her as almost an older sister. Who's gotten me through some rugged times. I love having her around. Being around her. But I could see how it could be a problem for you. You don't really think of her as a traditional mother-in-law, do you? Complaining, criticizing.
Oh. Well, there's nothing traditional about Andrea, Len. She's one of a kind.
She sure is. She throws that interfering, overpossessive theory right out of the window, don't you think so? I mean, all those comic strips about mothers-in-law. And sometimes I think that she knows more about you than I do.
Well, being a woman, that's only natural.
I guess so. But the way she seems to understand what's bothering you, how to handle it.
You make me feel as if I'm the #1 walking problem in your life.
No, I don't mean that at all. Last night, Andrea insisted she was the problem. Seeing too much of us, too involved with us. That kind of honesty is really something, isn't it?
Well, it's about time.
Day Commandos are coming your way with invincible new Dash, the improved detergent that fights dirt fast, actually rids your wash of dirt before the second rinse. The Wash Day Commandos are the special forces in new Dash, a unique team of cleaning forces. No other detergent has them. They rout grease, overpower grime, actually rid your wash of dirt before the second rinse.
What's the second rinse, ma'am?
Why, the rinse water's sparkling clear.
That means your wash is sparkling clean.
Yes, Dash rids your wash of dirt before the second rinse. Gets it sparkling clean.
Sparkling clean. Makes me feel proud. Fighting proud.
Call the special forces of Control Sudsing Dash to fight dirt for you.
The Wash Day Commandos of invincible new Dash.
Time for what, Dr. Hunter?
Well, the sun's out again.
Nick, it is raining cats and dogs outside.
Oh, I mean here. You two have been blowing up a storm for the last couple of days. At least it seems to be over.
Well, I hope that meets with your approval, Nick.
Not completely. I'm going to go on hoping Patti will change your mind.
About me?
About me.
Same idea, isn't it?
Not to me.
Oh, softly, Doctor. You may have some explaining to do. Where is everybody?
Oh, we're all here now. How goes the grind, Emily?
Oh, fine at the moment. My antenna picked up your mood. It is cheerful, isn't it, Nick?
Reasonably. Get a load of this sensitive little flower, then observe her on a tennis court sometime. She has a killer instinct, no mercy.
I don't believe it. Say it isn't so, Emily.
Well, it's sort of so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I play hard. I try to win. It's fun. Who doesn't?
Right, Emily. For always remember, the Battle of Trafalgar was won on the playing field of Eton.
I don't know. Do you mind if we get it right? Wasn't it Waterloo? Or was it?
Well, the British won anyway. The moral is, if you can play the game, you can win the battle.
Oh, goody. Kind of like all fun and fair in love and war. Because I'm a firm believer in that one.
Well, better stick to your tennis, honey.
And my knitting?
Same idea. I've got to get going.
Nick, how about lunch in the cafeteria, 12:30?
I'll try, but don't wait for me.
Stick to my knitting. Ha! Little does he know. About what? I've got the goods on him. I found out his birthday is Friday night.
Ooh.
Look, you two aren't going to be holed up in that fish lab of yours, are you?
Oh, probably. Why?
Oh, dear. Well, I wanted to throw a surprise party for him at the house. Hey, would you plot with me?
What kind of a plot?
Oh, very simple. All you have to do is cancel the fish lab, and then I'll plead and beg for Nick to take me out for a hamburger, and you two show up before he gets there, and, well, you know, happy birthday off-key and all that sort of thing. It won't be much, but it'll be fun. Well, I think Nick would like it.
Sounds great.
You wouldn't mind, Patti? Oh, we'd love it.
We'll go anywhere and conspire with anyone for a party.
You really mean that? I mean, you'll cancel the lab and come over and everything?
Sure. Why so surprised?
Well, it's just that when I asked you to the steak cookout the other night, I got the feeling that you...
Well, that was then. Life is different now. You and Patti arrange the details, and we'll all gang up on lucky old Nick. See you later.
Bye. He's real cute, Patti. You both are. I think you're great.
Well, this is one of our good days.
Mine, too. In spades. Redoubled.
Grace, this cake's great. What's your recipe? Oh, it's too good to give away. Fine friend you are. Come on. No, it's the secret. Seriously, Grace, your cake recipe would save my meal. I'm stuck with leftovers tonight. Well, okay. But it's not in here. My recipe is Duncan Hines. Duncan Hines, a mix? You're kidding. It's so moist. Moist is homemade. That's Duncan Hines. Look, the crumbs show how moist. Pick 'em up on your fork. Hey, they cling together. No dry cake does that. It is moist as homemade. No wonder it tastes like a recipe cake. That's why my recipe is Duncan Hines. Here. Thanks, Grace. You just saved my meal.
Get moist as homemade Duncan Hines cake mix. Always an adventure in good eating.
So, Emily is in seventh heaven.
Good for her. And that nice of Len to cooperate.
Well, as I told Emily, this is one of our good days.
High time. Library, Mrs. Tate. Well, hello. Yes, of course, she's right here. Just a minute.
Hello, Andrea. Oh, no, Mom and I were just having a coffee break. A what? You did? Where, Andrea? Yes? Well, no, I can't make it. I'm still on duty. What about this evening? Yes, 7 o'clock will be fine for me. All right, then I'll see you at 7. Goodbye.
What's all that? Her favorite china pattern come in at needs?
Oh, she's gone way beyond the wedding china, Mom. Oh, this is too much.
What is?
Well, knowing that Len and I are so busy, she's decided to give us a helping hand.
Doing what?
It occurred to her this morning that as of this moment, we have not yet found a place to live after we're married.
Oh, no.
Yes. She found a perfectly darling house for us. She thought it was perfect for our needs. It even has a guest room. I don't want a house, let alone one that has a guest room. I want a tiny little apartment that fits just Len and me, and she knows that. I have told her that.
All right, darling, tell her again.
Explain to her, you know, how enthusiastic she gets.
She got so enthusiastic she put a $100 deposit on it for us.
Well, we'll pay her back the money.
I don't care about the money. I'll pay her back the money. It's not the money. It's the way she takes me for granted. Like I'm a mindless doll without the capacity to decide or choose. Like I'm a country relative. Instead of Len's. Oh, I've got to stop this. I've got to stop all of this. Instead of letting us alone, she's closing in on us. She's surrounding us.
Patti, hold on. In another 2 weeks, you'll be married.
I can't make it. Not with Andrea. She made me an offer. If I ask her to leave, she'll leave. Now, that's what she said. Well, I'm going to take it up on her. It's getting to be Andrea or me, and I know it.
Does Len know the offer she made you?
Oh, I didn't mention it.
Patti, I think you'd better. Tell him what she said to you. Tell him how you feel about it. But let him suggest that she leave.
Well, either way, it's going to be awkward and embarrassing and difficult and...
all of those things. So give it a lot of thought.
I can't think. Not when Andrea's doing the thinking for me. Oh, I've got no choice. I've got to tell Len. And then I'm going to ask him to talk to his mother. No. No, not talk to her. Tell her.
Geraldine Finster has probably never done a really exciting thing in her entire life. But today is different. Today, Geraldine has a secret weapon to fight the dull mediocrity in her life. You, Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt. You, Mr. Clean, rubs out grime. Gets rid of grease. Polishes off stains. No other kind of cleaner cleans like new Mr. Clean. No liquid, powder, cleanser, detergent, or soap. Nothing. Put some excitement in your life. With new Mr. Clean. He's mean. He hates dirt.
Tomorrow is brought to you by new Mr. Clean, the all-purpose cleaner that hates dirt, all kinds of dirt. Tomorrow. Brought to you by today's Dash, now packed with extra cleaning strength to give you the cleanest looking washes possible. Dash.
So I thought we might go to the movie tomorrow night. I'm going to be footloose, thrown out of my own house.
What's going on?
Oh, didn't Patti tell you? Emily's giving a surprise birthday party for Nick Hunter. Patti and Len are going to be the other couple.
That's right, she did tell me. Hooray for Emily.
Hooray for Patti and Len. They seem to be a couple again. They've been anything but lately. Well, there's nothing like making up with the girl you're going to marry in a couple of weeks. Those two can have more lovers' quarrels and...
Cross your fingers. They may well be on the verge of another one.
And what's the problem now?
Andrea. She's decided to solve their housing problem.
Oh, why can't she leave those two alone?
Because one of them's her son. I guess Andrea can't help it. But neither can Patti. And now having Andrea choose a house for her is just too much.
I wanted Len to come too, Andrea, but he was tied up in surgery, so I wrote a note and told him to come as soon as he could get away.
Fine, Patti. Although this doesn't really involve him. Len couldn't care less where he lives, as long as he lives with you.
Yes, well, this is my department. That's why I came over right away to talk about it.
Sit down, darling. I suppose I shouldn't have called you at the hospital, but I was so excited when I uncovered this darling little house on Hampshire
That's
Place.
what I wanted to talk about.
I made a sketch of the plan of the first floor.
I don't have to see the sketch, Andrea. I don't want a house.
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, well, I thought you were. Every time we talked about a place we wanted to live, I spoke about an apartment fairly close to the hospital, new and clean, efficient and small.
Well, I recall you saying something about that, but, well, after looking into it, I realized
there was no need for you to go into it, Andrea. I know all the real estate agents here in Henderson. In fact, they've already come up with 2 possibilities. I'm in touch with them.
I see. I also see I've put my foot into it.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. It was very nice of you to take the time and trouble to go house hunting for us. But I was so sure that you understood. Anyway, I want to thank you for trying to help. But I don't need it. Len and I can take care of it ourselves. Thanks anyway.
You're more than welcome. I'm just sorry I misunderstood you.
Well, there was no harm done.
Patti, does Len know that that you two are going to live in a small apartment?
Well, of course. I'm just waiting until an agent finds at least, 2 or 3 really good possibilities. And then we're going to look at them. 1, 2, 3. And pick the one that'll be it.
I see.
Andrea. Does Len know that you've gone house hunting for us?
Of course not. And if you're annoyed, which I see you are, well, then be annoyed with me, Patti, not with my son.
The Wash Day Commandos. The Wash Day Commandos are coming your way with invincible new Dash, the improved detergent that fights dirt fast, actually rids your wash of dirt before the second rinse. The Wash Day Commandos are the special forces in new Dash, a unique team of cleaning forces. No other detergent has them. They rout grease, overpower grime, actually rid your wash of dirt before the second rinse.
What's the second rinse, ma'am?
Why, the rinse water's sparkling clear.
That means your wash is sparkling clean.
Yes, Dash rids your wash of dirt before the second rinse. Gets it sparkling clean.
Sparkling clean. Makes me feel proud.
Fighting proud.
Call the special forces of Controlled Sudsing Dash to fight dirt for you.
The Wash Day Commandos of invincible new Dash.
Please, Andrea, don't feel that way. I'm not annoyed. I'm just... Look, I thank you for being helpful. But there's such a thing as being too helpful.
In other words, interfering.
I didn't say that.
That's the word, isn't it? I've been neglecting my gift shop and busybodying around the countryside, and none of it needed. Well, that's worse than interfering. That's an exercise in frustration.
I'm just sorry that you felt that you had to go to all this trouble. If you'd called me...
Well, I said that you were annoyed with me. The truth is, I'm annoyed with myself. And don't let me take it out on you. I was wrong, and you were right.
I don't think it was a question of that, Andrea.
Well, here I am, you two. Now, what's all this about a house?
It was all a ghastly mistake on my part. Patti says you don't want a house.
No, we told you we want a cozy little joint close to the hospital so we can fall out of bed and land in the north wing and go to work. Right, Patti?
Right.
What did you do, Andrea? Find us a vine-covered castle somewhere?
Now, don't you start on me.
Start what? Patti's note said... Okay, if you found us a house, why don't we go look at it? We don't want a house, but, The rain has stopped. We might as well all drive out to Dragon Tooth Road and take a look at Andrea's castle. Maybe it's got a moat around it. I love moats. But most of all, I love you. Oh, okay. Terrible pun. Sue me. But, hurry up. I don't think you can sue your own husband, which I practically have. How about it, Andrea? A little drive before dinner?
Oh, I'm sorry, Len. I promised my mom I'd be back for dinner.
And I have a headache. And so if you don't mind, and even if you do, I'm going to lie down for a while. Thanks for coming by, Patti, and setting me straight.
What was that little arrow all about? Setting her straight.
Oh, she found us a darling little house, and I told her that we didn't want a darling little house.
Well, she must have known that.
She knows now.
Because you told her so in no uncertain terms?
I told her that I appreciate her help, but that we are competent to find a place ourselves.
Well, I hope you didn't lay it on too thick. She's got enough problems these days.
Darling, so do we. Well, do you want to take me home now?
Sure. Andrea, I'll be back in 30 minutes, okay?
Is that your regular brand of shortening? Yes, why? Did you know that kind contains animal fat? I thought all shortenings in cans were vegetable. No, some shortenings in cans contain animal fat. How can I be sure it's vegetable? Be sure it's Crisco.
Crisco is always all vegetable shortening with special protection against greasy taste. So fry right with Crisco for digestible fried foods that don't taste greasy.
To be sure it's vegetable. Be sure it's Crisco.
Come on, Timmy. Let's go.
Hold it before you blast off. You brush your teeth. There's the gleam.
Your mother's always making you do that. Yeah, but I bet I get less cavities than you.
Yes, mothers who care know one sure way to help fight decay is to brush right and use Gleam. You see, a harmful deposit called plaque forms on teeth. Proper brushing with Gleam removes most plaque. So remember, one sure way to help fight decay is to brush right and use Gleam.
At least you're home in one piece.
Oh, Mom, don't talk like that.
Sorry, just joking. How'd things go?
What things? With whom?
Terrible. Patti, you didn't tell Andrea that you want to accept her offer to leave, did you?
Oh, no, I think you're right. I think Len should tell her that. I had to tell her something that was just as difficult and unpleasant and uneasy. That I wasn't interested in taking a house. That we weren't interested.
But you already told her that. And you weren't mistaken.
Neither was she. Len himself told her that how we talked apartment, what kind of an apartment we wanted, where we wanted it. Oh, I don't know. It just seems to get more and more and more impossible.
Andrea, darling, not Len.
No, Len, he was wonderful. He even kidded her about a vine-covered castle there at Dragon Tooth Lane. I guess he's going to go back and have dinner with Andrea, I guess. I hope they find something else to talk about.
Did she mention the $100 deposit she put on the house?
No, and neither did I. And furthermore, I don't intend to.
Right. And coffee for two. Thank you. Hope you're not starving. Service in this hotel is terrible.
No, I'm not hungry.
You didn't have to come back, darling. I'm all right.
I yelled I'd be back when I left. No, Andrea, I'm sorry I joked about your finding us a house. Patti appreciates you trying to help.
Patti appreciates nothing of the kind.
Now, what does that mean?
The way she laid me out for presuming to interfere in her life.
Patti? No, I don't believe that quite.
Well, maybe you shouldn't quite. At the moment, I'm emotional and prejudiced about our little talk, but... Oh, well, you're right. Let's forget it and go on from here.
No. What were you going to say?
Well, it wasn't that she didn't appreciate my interest, which she didn't. But it was the way she used the incident. As if this time she had me dead to rights, and she knew it and I knew it. Oh, Len, there's more than one Patti Tate.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, I made an innocent mistake, and she just wouldn't let it go at that. She had me on the carpet, and she kept me there. Her apartment is her affair, not mine. She knows all the real estate agents in town. I don't. She's talking to all of them, keeping in touch with them, with no help from me. And does my son know that I'm busybodying around the countryside looking for a house against her orders? Oh, Len, don't let me talk like this. This is no time to talk like a scold. You're going to be married to her in a couple of weeks. Don't pay any attention to what I'm saying, darling. I'm angry with myself because I was stupid and she calls me on it.
Merely being right doesn't give her any license to act like a two-bit dictator. This just doesn't sound like Patti.
No, it doesn't, does it? But as you said, let's forget it. No harm done. And I'm sure that she doesn't even realize that she went overboard. I bet she doesn't dream that she hurt my feelings. And she'd probably deny that she ever talked the way she did.
Now step out of your shower feeling cleaner than you've ever felt before. Now there's a new Zestier Zest. Lather. More lather than most other soaps. Zest now has more powerful deodorant action than ever before. A new scent that tells you you're clean. New Zestier Zest leaves you feeling cleaner than you've ever felt before. Zest.
Search for tomorrow. Brought to you by today's Dank. Now packed with extra cleaning strength to give you the cleanest looking washes possible. Dank.
I feel like I had the